Earlier this year, I enjoyed a trip across Japan. And since then, I've had some time to reflect, and I realised that I've learnt a lot. You see, prior to my trip, I thought that 3 decades of attempting to use chopsticks, 12 weeks of learning the very basics of the Japanese language, and watching one Japanese film about a toilet cleaner in Tokyo would be sufficient to transform me from a loud, clumsy British tourist into a cultured traveller capable of effortlessly navigating the beautiful and nuanced Japanese culture. But you see, whilst my language learning efforts did pay off, I found myself saying one word in particular very frequently, and that was the word sumimasen, which means sorry. You see, I wish I'd known a little bit more about the unwritten rules of Japanese society prior to my trip, so I didn't have to learn them the hard way by stumbling my way through many awkward situations. So today, let's explore the lessons I learnt about the things not to do whilst in Japan. Whether it's Airbnbs, cafes or temples, it's common practice in Japan to remove your shoes before entering an indoor space. If you see a sunken step or a genkan, it's probably time to lose the shoes. You'll often find a row of slippers conveniently waiting for you to be worn inside, and usually there's a space for you to leave your shoes behind. Removing your shoes is a gesture of respect, but it's also to help keep places clean. It's very traditional in Japan to go about activities from eating to sleeping on a thick woven straw mat called a tatami mat, and so it's really important to keep these clean. Tipping at cafes or restaurants can feel very natural to many Westerners, but in Japan it's unnecessary, and in fact it can often be considered as rude. Excellent service is the standard, not something you pay extra for. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ja ne. Instead of a tip, show your appreciation with a polite bow and a genuine arigatou gozaimasu. You'll leave the place with smiles instead of someone who is apparently panicked trying to push your cursed money back to you. Oishikatta desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. One phrase that I used that was always met with smiles as I left a cafe or restaurant was oishikatta desu. It was delicious, and oh boy, I was not lying. The food, oishikatta desu. You'll notice that even in the bustling streets of Tokyo, people don't really eat whilst walking here. In Japan, food is to be respected, and so is public cleanliness. Grab and go culture doesn't really exist here. If you buy something from a konbini, a convenience store, then it's very common to eat it standing nearby. Of course, this isn't illegal, the police aren't going to lock you up for eating your snacks on the go, but if you can, try to hold off and find a bench before unwrapping that delicious onigiri. Hello mate, how's it going? Whether on public transport or in a serene temple, quiet is the default in Japan. Coming from a country where raising your voice is second nature, I had to consciously turn the volume down. You'll be surprised how much peace it brings and how quickly you'll be judging other visitors who fail to respect the quiet. In Japan, rules are followed. Don't cross the street until the green man says go. Now, coming from a city where I practically have to sprint across the traffic to leave my front door in the morning, it took me a few days to tame the itch to spontaneously cross roads. But jaywalking is frowned upon, and you will catch some disapproving glances or even some honks from cars hundreds of meters down the road, as I sadly learnt the hard way. Instead, wait for the green man to say go. Everyone else does, and somehow it makes the streets feel calmer and more in sync. Many public bathrooms in Japan don't provide hand dryers or towels. Most locals carry around small towels or handkerchiefs called tenogui for this purpose. It's one of those small cultural habits that makes a lot of sense when you're caught shaking your wet hands in a train station bathroom or wiping them on your only pair of trousers that you've packed in your luggage. It's still very common in Japan for shops, cafes and restaurants to be cash only. Usually when you're paying, don't hand the cash directly to the cashier. Instead, place it in the small tray that's usually next to the till. More than once I handed the cash directly to the cashier only for them to gently raise the tray beneath my hand as a hint, or often even take the cash from me and put it directly in the tray themselves before they continued the transaction. It's a simple gesture of personal space, and you'll find it everywhere from 7-Elevens to high-end boutiques. In fact, a lot of Japanese service industry feels like it's designed to minimize friction when paying. Whether it's ordering your food using a jukebox at certain restaurants, to conveyor belt sushi bars where your rice treats arrive on miniature bullet trains, you often won't interact with a cashier whatsoever. Japan is incredibly clean, but strangely, there's a real lack of public bins. And what's more, everything comes wrapped individually in plastic, whether it's chopsticks or bananas. Because of this, people take their rubbish home with them. I often found myself using a plastic bag to store my rubbish from the day, keeping my wrappers until I reached my hotel. It's a habit that feels a little strange to begin with, especially when your rucksack starts to resemble a crisp packet graveyard, but it soon feels deeply respectful when you realise how pristine the streets stay because of it. Sticking chopsticks upright in your bowl of rice resembles a ritual that's performed at Japanese funerals. It's considered inappropriate. It's the culinary equivalent of adding funeral music to your relaxing dinner party Spotify playlist. So instead, lay them on the holder provided or across your plate or bowl like a well-mannered diner who definitely didn't just offend every single Japanese person at the dinner table. Finally, don't worry. Yes, this list is long, but don't let it stress you out. Japanese people are incredibly kind and understanding towards foreigners who are trying to respect their culture. Making an effort goes a long way. Bow when you're in doubt, apologise when you stumble, sumimasen is your best friend, and stay curious. Beneath the rules lies a warmth that makes Japan an unforgettable place to travel, and I'm so jealous if you're about to visit. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content on culture, languages, travel and self-improvement, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.